Hailing you, hailing us from the USS Spacebook. Open those cargo doors wide. Let's rip and engage your warp drive for this episode of our YouTube exclusive, raw, unfiltered, as live Star Trek video podcast. Yes, with me, Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks, captain of the geeks, sort of, for news, views, and reviews from the final frontier. Yes, got some refugees with me as well this time from an era when TV was great, was golden even. Let's bring them all in. Our very own Badmiral, as I said last week, it's the Rabbi Svilabekin. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm fine. I'm well, considering I've had a funny couple of days, TV-wise. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll leave you to decide.
Which one's the good? What was the good? Oh, you see the Mandalorian. Okay, fine. Took me a minute to work it out.
The good was the Mandalorian. Yes, the Mandalorian a couple of days ago. I hate to say it.
I'm trying to work out the ugly. I can work out the bad. The bad and the ugly. I don't know. What else has been on?
I caught a bit of Little Mix the Search the other day.
I don't know it. Never heard of
it. Yes, I wonder if he's heard of it. I think he probably has. He's certainly got his cans on. I know he loves a tune or two, this guy. Yet back with us this week, Mr. Brown.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm angry today, boys. I'm angry. I do apologise.
Oh, hold him back. Hold him back, everybody. Why are you angry? What have they done to you?
Basically toxic. Yeah, Star Trek. Why are you not allowed to have an opinion about anything without somebody spoiling for a fight? I am sick of it. It affects people. It's not good. Anyway, move on.
I completely agree. It's a good opening topic, really. I mean, they call it toxic fandom, and I don't know how you feel about it, Rabbi. That term toxic. That term toxic fandom. I say there's no such thing as toxic fandom. Fans are fans. Fans have always fought.
No, I disagree.
Always disagree.
Anymore. I wish that was the case.
But I see this
created by crazy people who are toxic. Yeah, 100%. I think there's toxic fandom. It's not us. It's the weirdos that come in and said, "Yeah, well, don't you want to be more inclusive? We want to join you. We just want to make it more inclusive." And we're like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then they come in and they say, "We want to fundamentally change this thing that you love. Fundamentally change it." And then we go, "Well, we're not really into that." And they go, "You racist, sexist, get out."
The word that I was going to use, everybody, was rather than toxic, was tribalistic. Tribalism. That's kind of what I see as what's going on, and the major difference, because
it's not even that.
The strong opinions, and then there's something, whatever we are at now, where you get tarred as an unpleasant person, as a bad guy, and Rabbi, you were saying before when we were recording, you explained to me about certain people that you've had accused you of all sorts of things in the last 7 days. And clearly, Mr. Brown, you've had bad experiences too. I think we all have.
Today, yes, literally just before I came on a Star Trek group. I think the crux of the matter is nobody is allowed to have an opinion, and if to certain people your opinion doesn't match theirs,
that's a hang defense.
Don't get me wrong.
It started when I think this current iteration of genre TV, of Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, has been many things, but amongst those things has been far lower quality. The quality has been extremely, especially in the writing, has been extremely low for the last. And if you're of that opinion and you voiced it a couple of years ago, you were vilified as like hating women or hating black people or just crazy things. Like what?
If you like something, I have no problem if you like it. If you like it, good for you. I don't have a problem with you liking something or disliking something. Good for you. Why is it an issue that if I say something coincidentally, very politely, I get rounded on saying I'm a whatever? It's fucking mental.
I remember.
Well, again, look, I think that segues quite nicely into Discovery and why. No, we're like why
It was about Discovery.
I can see why Discovery and the current Doctor Who attracts these like really intolerant, completely intolerant fans, because I think they're made from a place of bigotry and intolerance, which is why I think Discovery really fails as Star Trek. It's made from a place of like real deep bigotry. Like Dan, you know well enough. It's hard enough to have people come on this show, because a lot of people just won't watch it, because like people you would ask won't watch it because it's just too bigoted, and or finding somebody to be a counterbalance who'll be positive about it, because they're few and far between. You know, if you like Star Trek, most of the time you don't like this. That's why I always like Keith being here, because Keith, bless his heart, like loves Star Trek.
Great show last week.
I think it's better to have two sides of a story, right?
Yeah,
the plan is that Keith Ars will be a guest on most of these shows going forward. But yeah, Ian Diaz is really, the bigotry of this has pushed him too far. And if you're watching this and you think, God, they're moaning already, and you'd like to come on and you feel differently, we are friends here. And we want friends rather than allies. We want to talk to people who disagree with us. We want you to tell us why you disagree. And if you are nourished by Discovery or any of the things that we may be quite damning of, come in and tell us about it, because we are interested. We want to hear. So yes, subscribe to the channel, please do, and put a comment down, put a comment below the description, and let us know if you'd like to come on and come and chat to all of us and tell us what we're missing. Earlier in the week, I want just on the back of what you've just been talking about, Mr. Brown. Earlier in the week, I was in a Star Trek Discovery group on Facebook too, and somebody put up a picture. Somebody put up a picture. It was a really big group of the character in Discovery on the bridge crew, the lieutenant with the implant, who had a really hard time last week. She didn't she? And we were speculating, myself, the Rabbi, Keith, and Pete Mealy. We were speculating about, has she got an AI in her head? And somebody was talking about that character and the girl with the dreads, who's like the helmsman of Discovery. And well, they did. Well, it's funny you should say that, because neither did I. And whoever it was that was in this group, they said, "Oh, this character so-and-so," and they referred to her by name. And I said, "Oh, great! I know this character's name at last now, because the show doesn't seem to want to give her one." And my God, and I suppose you could say it was a little sarcastic on my part, but it's true. I don't know the character's name. I've been watching it for 3 years.
Yes, I mean,
I still don't know her name.
Don't know her name. And yes, I was rounded on by several people. Yeah. The responsibility was all mine. Clearly, I hadn't been paying attention. All these things, I was called all sorts of silly petty names. Just enough to stay on the right side of Facebook's conduct guidelines. Yes, but I was called a few names, and I didn't take the bait there. Or you don't have to go down to their level. But I did say, okay, well, fair enough. You don't know me. Perhaps I am that person. But just as a comparison, all the other shows that I've started watching in the last 2 to 3 years, funnily enough, I remember all their names, all the characters. No problem at all.
Right.
But the thing is, the thing is, right, it's your problem that you don't know their names. When we used to watch Star Trek back in the day, everybody knew the names.
Well, here's the thing.
For some reason,
so here's the thing.
I'm moaning. Sorry, guys.
No, you're not moaning. But no, okay. So this is why I don't think we don't remember names. There's masculinity and there's femininity.
Toxic.
Neither is superior. Neither is inferior. They are equal and they are both necessary. There are different ways. We talked about this briefly last week, but there are different ways in which the sexes view reality subtly differently. So one example I gave was that for toys for girls, toy companies make things that don't have so many distinct characteristics. So the young girls can imagine themselves, their lives, they're the princess, right? Whereas boys' toys, the boys do have very distinct characteristics. So the boys can imagine that they are He-Man, they are Han Solo, right? Rather than, that they take on the character's life rather than...
It's testosterone and estrogen has a lot to do with that.
Well, yeah. So I think the problem with the characters is this is a fundamentally feminine show. This is a feminine show, and that's why
It is, yeah. It's
Yeah,
aggressive
all the char-
feminism show.
well, the feminism is it's a feminine show and a feminist show and a bonkers show at that. But it's a feminine. That's why a lot of these characters are kind of bland without any distinction. Like she's got red hair and a thing on her face, and I know nothing else about her. She's a robot girl, and I know nothing else about her.
Yeah.
She's black, and I know nothing else about her. The only one I know about is Michael Burnham, who is mentally ill. That's what I know about her. That she needs to be on lithium. Okay.
Before
she did look great this week with the dreads. She is pretty as a picture. She's fantastic.
I've had a crush on that woman, since day
she's
one.
Lovely.
And
she's lovely.
Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful. Before we get
You're
stuck
wrong, Rabbi.
too deeply in Discovery, we have got a bit of good news from the Final Frontier. I thought this was quite entertaining. This story here, because a statue has been unveiled to not just Kate Mulgrew, but Catherine Janeway, Captain Catherine Janeway herself. And I've got this site here, the Bloomington Collective are here talking about it. Where are we? It's a sculpture. A monument to Captain Catherine Janeway has been installed along the Beeline Trail next to the Wonder Lab Museum.
That's really weird.
Of the character atop a limestone boat.
It needs to have a coffee shop.
I didn't mind the character. Why?
Well, it says here the project was a labour of love made possible by donations from hundreds of fans across the planet, helping ensure the longevity of our monument with donations and paying towards the maintenance of this as well. So it's
good for them.
It's an impressive thing. Yeah, this is what fans sort of used to do.
This is what fans should be about, 100%. Good for them. I don't really understand. I'm really happy they did it. I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. How big is that? Is it life size?
Bloody big. Near enough. Yeah.
I think it really captures her personality. Again, I'm not a fan of the character at all. I don't dislike her, but I'm not Janeway. I think it captures her.
It needs
Star Trek. I think it's great. Good for them.
It needs a coffee shop next door to it. Black coffee.
Yes, they're still looking for support and partners there. I'm not entirely sure what sort of trust it is, but Kate Mulgrew, understandably, she appeared. There was an opening ceremony where they sort of revealed it all from underneath a velvet blanket. And she came up on screen, obviously very flattered. It was just a reminder of old school fandom and giving back affection. And genuinely, I find that quite inspirational. As somebody who's, Voyager's not my bag. It's not so much my thing. It came along. Well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
I love Voyager,
but I do think it captures that character really, really well, and it could inspire people, particularly being installed next to this Wonder Lab Museum in, what was the place again? The Bloomington Collective. It's
very similar to Detroit in the RoboCop statue.
It's similar to. It says here it's similar to the thing at in Iowa for James T. Kirk. So it's in Bloomington, Indiana, which is her future birthplace. I love that sort of stuff.
That's really That's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Captain Kirk was a farm boy, wasn't he? Farm boy from Iowa.
Yeah, there is. Oh, there's a little video here as well. Let's see if we can get that. There she is.
That's the entire video. Oh, there she is.
Oh, she nearly.
There she is. She's happy as Larry there. I thought that. Yeah, I thought that.
Rabbi's recommendations there.
Yes, recommend. Get the plug in. Get the plug in already. Yes, good news from the Final Frontier for a change.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Did you know that Captain Kirk had 3 ears?
Oh,
he had a
really?
Ear. Yeah, he had a left ear,
true story,
a right ear, and a Final Frontier. I'm here all week.
Here all week, folks.
I can't believe you just did that.
It had to be done. Sorry, had to be done.
Be ashamed of yourself, sir. Be ashamed of yourself.
Cheers, everyone.
I haven't heard that one for a while.
That's the highlight of this show.
This is what they want. This is, if you love that gag, like, subscribe to the Spacebook for more Warp Drive, more perlers like that. But yes, we're going to come back down to earth with Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Discovery. Sorry, bloody hell, I'm wishing it all away, gentlemen. Yes, here we are. This is episode 3 of the new series. If I can get it up, there we are. Episode 3 of the new season. Yes, this is People of Earth finally reunited. Burnham and the USS Discovery crew journey to Earth, eager to learn what happened to the Federation during their long absence. Written by Bob Yuan Kim and Erica Lipolt. Are they changing these names deliberately?
No. I actually looked into who wrote this,
Yes.
it's beyond me. It's beyond what this person has 0 credentials to write this, and it shows that they don't know what they're doing. Because it's just like, I don't know why they thought 45 minutes of standing around crying and hugging would be like, oh yeah, we love that in Star Trek. That we've had that last 50 odd years, but standing around crying and hugging.
May I just say on a toxic white male level, the new character in the middle is pretty as a picture. So
she's not a new actress. That's
she's been on a few times before. She's pretty.
I hadn't noticed. No, she's Erin. She's Robot Girl without the makeup.
No. Is she the same?
Yes, she is. It's the same actress. Now you mention it. Yeah, I remember now. Now,
pretty as a picture.
Yes, I completely agree. Let's acknowledge as well this also. Another reason why I was surprised this wasn't a little more spectacular is because it was directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Oh yeah.
Very cinematic stuff. We've got somebody beaming aboard right now who's going to join us. We've had a late addition to the roster this time, so let's get this up. Can you guess who it could possibly be?
That's the second time you said it this show. I can't. Don't say. Can you get this up again, please?
It's been a while, Dan. It's been a while.
Okay, Jet, calm.
I am available, ladies.
We can have the adverts at the end of the show. Yes, links to everybody's email. Here we are. As problem being.
Somerset Boy. Get off my land.
Hello, my friend. How are we?
Hello. I'm good. Yes.
Very game of you to join us, to step into the breach of the frontier. Because I wanted to ask you, have you been watching, before we get too deep into People of Earth, have you been watching Star Trek Discovery up to now then?
I have. For all my sins, I have.
So the first couple of episodes of season 3, have you noticed a big change in your view? Is it winning you over at all, or is it on borrowed time?
Apart from the ludicrous plot lines, the first 2 episodes weren't as bad as the third one. I think it's just gotten progressively worse.
Fair review. That's a very fair review. I can't argue with that review.
Yeah, I was willing to give it a go. I think it was.
Did you feel that it was that not only that we have come to this with obviously extending our generosity, that maybe for one last try they could try and turn it around? Do you think that they know that they've got a enfranchised fan base out there as well as a fragmented one? And do you see this as a bit of a reset for Star Trek Discovery?
No, I think it's more of the same. It's this really overly earnestness that
But is it deliberately? But is it deliberately more?
They can't
more
help themselves. They are possessed ideologically. I think they just cannot see it. I really don't think they can see it. They've been told enough times, and they just dug their trenches deeper into the earth, and they just go, no, we're staying. That's it.
It's pretty accurate.
Everything is just full of huge, grand gestures.
Yes. It's over the top. Everyone's crying every 5 minutes.
That's what the rabbi said before you came in.
It's like, I'm going to pat yourself on the head because you're telling some really uplifting, amazing stories.
Yeah, which are full of plot holes.
It's fucking boring.
This one was boring. I was rolling my eyes for about half of it at least, and the other half is me shouting.
I think it started well. I with this scene, you expect a reunion scene to be emotional. You'd want that to be the case.
It's gone a year.
Even
5 minutes.
I actually grabbed a screen grab from the for my thumbnail for my review of this, because it's like Michael Burnham crying, like. Here's the problem with this whole bit of it. This first few minutes, nothing is earned about this show. Nothing is earned. So I can see in the writers' room these idiot children talking about each other. Says, you know what? She's been there for ages. She's been there for ages.
Rabbi, that's very Rabbi. Sorry, that's a very patronising statement. Sorry.
What, idiot children?
Ashura,
okay, I'm patronising. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, no one's hair grows that fast in a year. Nobody.
The one that said to the other, we got to make it like she's been there for ages. Like how long? Like for a long time. Life changing. How long? A whole year. A whole year. Because they're children and they think a year is a long time. They're actually like, I've seen people survive the Holocaust, find their children, and have more composure. After like 12 years, it's ridiculous. This is like, and then you have that recap of like how they spent their stunning and brave year together, like becoming bonding and being wonderful, and like that's why they're so close. And none of it works. None of it feels real. All of it CGI. All of it is false.
I think what irritates me a little bit about this, everybody, is the fact that during those scenes, during those moments, which they were nicely directed by Jonathan Frakes, showing the passage of time, he's a safe pair of hands, Jonathan Frakes. But what really annoys me, as somebody who I want to like this character, like I say, it's Sonequa Martin Green. I think she's lovely, and I want to connect with this character. But after two series of keeping the faith in this, they are repositioning it to say that she's been through all this transformation, and she's come back with different priorities and a slightly changed character by these experiences condensed into a year.
Now she's like someone who now knows everything because she's been there a year.
Well, that's always. No, well, this is my point, though. This is my point. You see, she's come. She is here. We are. She re-enters the frame, but somebody has, you just rightly said, problem being, who again has all the answers, who knows all this, who knows all that. She's got no flaws and all the rest of it. But during that year that we've not seen, that must have been the most challenging and annoyingly the most interesting and transformative year of her life.
And all we saw was her hair grow. We saw that's all we saw.
But that's what I'm trying to get round to. To be talking. Let me finish, please. To be talking about this after the fact to people who have kept the faith, not just in the show, but in this character for 30 odd episodes. It's a real slap in the face to do the most interesting things that you've ever done to her off screen.
Yeah.
Well, we've not seen them yet, but she's obviously been to Butlins because there's a Butlins red coat stood in the background. So she's probably been on vacation for a year.
Let's get that up a bit. Yes, I think it could be
Butlins red coat.
Yeah, I was hoping that was going to go somewhere.
No toxic white males.
We've got Morn in the background, a little bit there. But all this stuff that's going on. I mean, as usual with this show, if it wasn't for Doug Jones, it would be a complete and utter
carries it.
Waste of time. And the more they give him to do, I don't know how you found this too. Problem being, the more that they give this guy to do, he just uses it. He digs into the material. He projects so much from under that makeup. Really brings the character to life. And he should be a beacon for the rest of them, the rest of the cast to follow, because there are decent actors in this cast. But I don't. Is it? What's your gut instinct? Is Saru being written better, or is Doug Jones country mile ahead?
Look at what happened to him. Like he when he's dealt the hand of this Earth Federation, whatever they are, I can't remember what they're called, so I lost interest. This Earth Defense, whatever
Force.
they are.
Yeah, okay.
Right? They come on board, and what's the first thing he does? He lies to them. He lies to them. He should have said, "We are from the 23rd century. We are We came through here in a wormhole. We've been stuck here. We don't know anything. We're just trying to find what's the Federation and what's going on. And no, he just says, no, we're the descendants of these people. And he gets caught in the lie.
Clearly the lie, right? I mean, like, who can't see through that?
Well, surely you wouldn't put all your cards on the table straight away. So I can see why they've done it.
Yeah, I understand that, but why not lie in a way that's vaguely convincing?
Because he gets stuck. He gets immediately caught up in that lie, and it just gets worse from that point onwards. And that's not a way to win the trust of someone who's supposed to be your ally, or you think is your ally, and you want them to help you. So you start off with a really unconvincing lie. And I think if you'd have just stuck to the truth, it would have been better.
There are some strange choices, some strange twists and turns of all the characters in this, and some mind-boggling dialogue. I think it's so. I just think I don't want to speak in hyperbole, but I just think it's badly written. I think this is the fundamental.
The woman writing it, I think she's just completely unqualified. Okay, listen, if you don't want to be called a diversity hire, and I don't want to call anybody a diversity hire, but if you don't want to be called a diversity hire, don't spend your life speaking about your identity. And if you are given this opportunity, don't write crap. Don't write crap. And if you write crap and you spend your life speaking about diversity and speaking about your identity, then you're going to be called a diversity hire because you probably are.
It's one thing, isn't it, Rabbi, to not be able to plot something particularly well, because it's like problem being just said. Why does these chain of events that doesn't hold together? It's not, and there are plot holes. It's one thing not to be able to do that, but if you can't characterize these people, if you can't turn these words and collections of ideas into real people that we can relate to, what exactly is your craft? Why are you there? There is,
and then you've got Michael Burnham going off doing her own thing again without Saru being informed of her plan, and she gets away with it. And then the only thing is, he's a bit upset with her.
What Saru said, like,
he's supposed to be in charge, he's supposed to be the captain, and she's just gone off and done this thing without informed. And then she nearly gets the entire crew killed.
How did
you get the entire crew killed because of this plan? And then it's like, it doesn't matter.
The longer the episode goes on, the less clear for the audience. I'm talking about now. The less clear it becomes for the audience exactly what it is they're trying to establish. Because, as you say, you've got Saru, who, for all intents and purposes, he holds a certain amount of the cards. You know, he's in this situation. He's coming to it cold. He's got this crew around him. He's empowered by that. So you think, well, you keep the faith and you follow the plot, but none of it starts to make less and less and less sense. Yeah. And then by the halfway point, Ian, I don't know how you felt about it, but I was all the investment that I got in it, which they got me at the start because I was touched by some of those reunion scenes, but by the halfway mark, Ian, they had lost me because I didn't understand why. In fact, I'd lost sight, come to think of it, what they were trying to establish at all, but I had no idea why they were going about it in the way they were. How do you feel about it?
Could I with regards to Michael Burnham's plan of stealing the ship, blah 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 blah?
Yeah.
On the original Star Trek or Next Generation or the films or anything, it was always the captain that would make the decisions. And every now and again, one of the people under their command, if the captain was going to give an order, the person who was given the person who he was giving the order to would say, and it was every now and again, not often, "I've already done that, sir." Like, that trust.
I think the word I don't mean question. I don't mean question. Do I mean would counsel their captain? That was the balance, wasn't it? They used to have.
Yeah, I think there was one episode, one film where the Next Generation, where Picard says something to Geordi, and I think it was jettisoning the warp core or something in one of the films. He goes, "Already done it."
Yeah,
and it's like, whoa!
I remember that.
Whoa, that's earned. That's fantastic. That's earned. Michael Burnham's doing it every fucking week.
Well,
she's the captain.
Who is Michael Burnham to crown Saru captain.
That was
What's-
exactly
Yeah.
what I was about to say. That scene where she stands aside
Saru,
next to the throne. You have permission to be captain of this ship that you've been looking after
Yeah.
for the last year,
Yeah.
probably longer.
Saru should have been the captain 2 seasons ago.
Mm.
You know, when Lorca went, he should have been the captain.
Yeah,
Who the hell
But
does she think
with-
she is?
But we've been tossing about, going around the periphery.
Well, that's-
She's so brilliant.
that brings me to
And
my
he's
next question.
cut.
Really, problem being, I don't know what I want your instincts really about. So, if Michael Burnham isn't going to be an officer as they used to be, I mean, well, we do get that at the end. He sort of appoints a number one, doesn't he? But if she's not sort of pure to the point where her Starfleet training overrides everything else.
Overrides
sort-
the captain.
Are they trying to now give us version 2.0 of Michael Burnham and hope
God, really?
and hope that we like or relate to her more than the earlier
How
version?
can you relate to someone who just acts purely on this smug conviction and then gets the entire crew in a situation where they could be absolutely
Trouble.
taken out with one blast of it's like the shields are gone, they are open and vulnerable, and all of this could have been avoided, and she got them all into trouble and could have had them all killed because of this thing, and she never even told Saru about this plan. And it just, for me, that's unforgivable. Yet they have a little chat, he's a little bit
Yeah.
offended, and he's just going to walk over there because he's socially awkward or something. And it's just like,
It sounds
Well,
like
tedious.
plot of a lower decks. It sounds like
Yeah,
plot of a lower
the-
decks episode, doesn't it?
The
It
thing
is
is,
exactly the same.
the thing
Exactly the
is,
same.
as a viewer, we all know it's going to be okay in the end, because the one thing about this show is that Burnham is the bestest ever, and that's it.
Absolutely best as ever.
It'll all be all right. It'll all be
She's-
good in the end.
And it doesn't matter what she's experienced. It doesn't matter all this self-doubt that we
She's
assume she might
amazing.
have felt
And
at
you
some
never get
point.
to see
We
any of
never-
the other
we never
crew taking
see-
the initiative. You never see
She's
the rest
amazing.
of the crew. I mean, I still
Well-
don't know their names. I don't know who they are. You
We
see
said that
close-ups
before,
of
you're
them
right.
looking worried and
That's
concerned
Let's
and
let's
stoic and, that's
You
Well,
it.
don't know
talk-
their
we-
names.
we
You
talked-
Tilly,
scumbag.
that's the only one I know.
we
Problem
talked a
being-
little.
Ugh.
We talked a little while ago about my experiences, with
Scumbag.
the other cast members and with this new blonde member. I mean, I would imagine it'll take years until we know what her name is, that new
who's
blonde
she?
character. But we do have, of course, the character from the season 1 really that people could relate to. There's Tilly, obviously go straight back to Earth. Typical first thing she goes to do is to see if Greg's is open. By the looks of things, she's off
Tree
to get
hugger.
herself
Oh,
get herself a
damn.
pasty. And yes, so that's all going on there. I recognise I recognise some of the other crew members, not all of them. So I don't know how some of them could have been there for 3 seasons. I certainly don't know their names. They're right, obviously, to lead with Tilly because she's the one that sticks in the memory. But it's it's a bit of an echo, really, of a character that we could have kind of half connected with nearly 2 seasons ago. And here we have Paul Stamets as well. I find this character absolutely unrecognisable from the guy from season 1, particularly in this. He was originally a Jobsworth. He was quite a nasty character, and now he just seems to be this sort of grinning boob that walks around the place like Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins with a smile for everybody. Totally different character, and you think, well, you can't do this
Paul Stamets.
every season. And the various, some we told that he knows. Well, actually, he's got lots of personal qualities. Come to think of it, that he never had originally either. He's
None of these
professional.
people should be in Starfleet. None of them would pass muster. If you go back to the Next Generation or you go back to the original series, none of these people would qualify at all.
Yeah,
They're
but
not stable.
that was Starfleet 1987. Don't forget, we're in Starfleet 2020. It's de-evolved. Yeah.
It is
Yeah, that's
evil.
a very good one. It has
And
to
they're
be.
all deeply
It's-
unlikable characters because they're
for
just
some-
so superfluous and shallow.
Yeah, for
It's
some reason, it's de-evolved to cover the current climate of 2020. I don't understand. Have we not moved on in
No, we haven't.
400 years? Or have we gone back?
progressed.
As a culture, we have moved backwards. As a culture,
It's
we
a load of old
massively.
bollocks.
Well,
listen,
I know that 16-year-old is now like a commander or something.
Well, it's funny you should get round to that because you say, have we moved on? Have we moved on? Of course, we have moved on. The evidence is here, everybody. You just haven't noticed. It's in the form of this brand new character. We're told that this character
Deeply
is a
unlikable.
new permanent member of the cast. Her name's Adira, and she's played by newcomer Blue Del Barrio. They definitely are making these names up, I think. Yes, so she's joined the cast apparently for the entirety of the rest of the season, in a uniform that reminds me very much of Babylon 5. And yes,
Wesley Crusher,
right?
you've been vindicated.
Here we are. This is where I think this character reminds me. I think they're setting this character up as their guide to the 21st century, a little 21st, sorry, to their new century, whichever century it is. I've lost track. I've lost track. I don't care. But what really struck me during the conversations with Paul Stamets, we saw in a picture earlier on, you think, okay, they've got a fresh start here. And they've got Anthony Rapp. I've always liked Anthony Rapp. I think he's decent in this show. I think he's got a lot of charisma. Same with Doug Jones, a couple of the others too. If you let them play their parts, they have charisma. But where on earth have they found this charisma void from?
Yeah, that's you know what? Firstly, I was just trying to work out is she supposed to be the non-binary character?
Yeah.
But who cares? I mean, who cares?
I mean,
exactly.
It's
just not important.
This is the new form of cronyism and nepotism within Hollywood. It's gone from now just from family and friends that you hire to people who share the same political views as you do. Yeah. So, I mean, it's absolutely no different to how it was before. They don't hire on the basis of talent. They're hiring on the basis of you identify with this group. And it's so clear and evident, and it's tedious, it's tokenistic, it's boring. And these people are personality voids. They bring nothing exciting to the scene. They bring nothing new to the story that makes any sense. And it's all very smug and very self-aware in the least self-aware way possible. They think they're being self-aware.
You're right.
Very self-referential.
You're right. It is presented in a very smug way. And under normal circumstances, in past decades, watching earlier shows, not just in Star Trek, but other things, I would sort of take it as read that this character I was being offered was quite a buttoned-up character who it was difficult to get to know. And eventually they would open up and they would start to talk to people and we would get to know them and get to like them and get to relate to them and get to root for them. But this is Star Trek Discovery we're watching. that would be in the last 30 odd episodes. That seems like an outside chance with this. But with the actress, I do remember talk of either a trans actor or trans character. I try and let all that stuff go past because I just don't care. I want to get to know whoever is presented to me on screen in whatever context they are presented in. But my God, does she have to play this role like she's half asleep?
But she made me half asleep, I'll tell you that much.
Could Dan, may I just pick you up on a point, please?
Yes, of course.
Please don't ever soil Babylon 5. Please. I picked you up a couple of weeks ago. Babylon 5.
You recognise those uniforms, though, don't you? It's very similar.
Very similar. I will say, though, also going back to the uniform, if you look at the emblem on the uniform,
yes,
they are all Bolton Wanderers fans. Straight away, I thought Bolton Wanderers. What the hell? Anyway, carry on.
That's happened sooner or later. The future is a funny place,
Bolton
quite
Wanderers.
clearly. Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, is this character there for minorities to relate to even more?
No, I'll tell you exactly who the character is to relate to. This is the 15-year-old, 16-year-old on Twitter who screams about identity, wants to be non-binary. Yeah. This is them. This is them. This is the audience they're hoping to get. This is them. This is you have like the insane people who live on Twitter who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, right? And the children on Twitter look up to them, right? And the insane people on Twitter are the people who write the show. And this is the insanely small clump of people who they're trying to attract.
And surprise, surprise, she's a genius.
Oh yes, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Those 10 seconds.
She's perfect in every way.
No flaws, no doubt.
Listen, guys, I will say, I've got no problem with her being a genius, being non-binary, blah, 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 blah. All I want is for her to be a damn good character that's well written and that you can believe in. I just don't think it's going to happen.
In the past, guys, I know I completely agree. And in the past, guys, watching this franchise evolve across, from Star Trek through to the next generation.
I just have to say, I just don't think modern day politics is going to look very good in the 24th, 25th, whatever century. I just don't see it.
This is
the whole
why
point of Star Trek was that we're beyond all of these little groups and identities.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a whole premise.
This is why I had to ask you. This is why I had to ask you guys which century now. Not only have I lost track, but it seems that when we've travelled before from those one generation to another, and even sideways into the Kelvin universe, I was excited on some level by the idea of what will this version of the future look like.
Well, they all speak the same English for a start.
What will technology be like? Exactly. What will technology be like? What will culture be like? What will people think, and how will they communicate that's different? And what will humanity? What will the perception, humanity's own perception of itself against that broader canvas of the universe? And here we are. We've been taken farther than ever before. And yet it seems more backward than ever before, and more dull somehow than ever before. And okay, yes,
the new dark ages in space.
Yeah, there's been this disaster, obviously, and it is dystopian, which I find just crushingly dull.
They can't help themselves. They love dystopian reality because they live in one. They created one. So
they're not very good.
That's
probably the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could I just say on a more? I'm trying to be positive here. Were there any murders this week? I can't remember seeing.
Well, you had the fake alien guy.
Yeah, Star Trek. They murdered Star Trek.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the week before, I lost count how many people got slaughtered.
Nobody we cared about, and that's probably the.
I can't remember anybody. I can't remember anybody getting murdered this week. So that's on a positive note, it's moving forward.
And yet, still twice as depressing as the last two episodes combined. Funnily enough.
But you would think. I mean, I was interested by the guy in the first episode, the guy at the desk. I mean, the premise doesn't interest me at all, but I thought he played his role quite well. The Indian guy,
he did.
I quite like that. There's a
I suspect Nerdrotic's going to be absolutely right about this. That he will never see that guy again. Probably, I should.
I hope we do. But that version of humanity and how he was, you can see that he'd been through a period where he'd questioned his own faith because it was all very, very semi-religious how they got it set up, and so to be presented instead, a couple of episodes on. With I've got a picture here of officious little twerps like this, and the captain character to her right. Is this it really? I mean, for all that this Adira character was dull. I mean, look at that face. The character to her right, who I believe was a captain of some description in the EDF. I mean, good God.
The thing is,
the English Defence League.
Yes, I did wonder. I've made a note here that said EDF. I thought that can't be.
Yeah, it sounded very similar.
EDF Energy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because
no energy.
I don't know whether the character. I don't know whether the character was written as crap, or whether she just played her really badly, or what. I've forgotten the character's name already. Good God, we've seen over the years in Star Trek, we've seen loads of these Jobsworth kind of characters come along who've been given a bloodied nose by whichever captain or crew we've been following, and we'd like to see them sort of get their just desserts or question or whatever. But this one, what is this really the face of the future?
Yeah, but according to them, well, listen, it's stunning and brave. It's not a white man, so that's all that really matters, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah,
It's also interesting to note as well, for all their hoo-ha about global warming, that planet Earth looks rather good, actually. San Francisco
It does,
looks
doesn't it?
pretty healthy.
When they finally go down to start with. Why? Okay, we're coming to the end of the episode, but why, if Starfleet is no longer there, why is Starfleet Academy still there? How is this tree that was planted 1,000 years ago still there? It's just so dumb. Everything about this is stupid. Oh my god!
No, it wasn't
Terrible
it wasn't called
CGI as
Starfleet.
well.
It's the same place. Did they call it Starfleet Academy?
That's what I was about to ask because I can't.
Yeah, they didn't call it. It's
Can we
the
have
same
another 5
place.
minutes? We want to stay another 5 minutes.
So why is it still there then? If Starfleet's not there, why is the Starfleet Academy still, like, the building still there?
Well, I'm sure my house, what I live in, will hopefully be here in 300 years' time.
It's
Doesn't mean
1,000 years.
anything.
It's 1,000 years time.
We are now talking 1,000 years from us now.
And bearing in mind that the
Golden Gate
entire
Bridge is still there.
bearing in mind that the entire Federation is gone, right? For what, the last 100 years or something? That
Yeah.
you know, the last
100 years.
they moved away 100, and yet
Yeah.
the entire planet, which has been under siege from all these raiders trying to steal all these crystals, dilithium crystals, and it still looks like a high-tech civilization that's
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
So, like,
Human raiders.
Is anybody convinced or even particularly really understands the nature of this disaster that has faced the Federation, that's caused all those ships to blow up? Because it all just seems... I still don't really get it, or what.
I'm sure there'll be an episode explaining it all.
why are they constantly looking for dilithium crystals? Why are they still raiding and trying to get hold of these dilithium crystals if they're that unstable and potentially will blow your ship up?
Exactly. Why not use?
Why would you keep using it?
Spore drive is the future. Spore drive is the
So
future.
I reckon they're going to plunder the spore drive technology,
Yeah, that's the future.
which is just a ridiculous idea in the first place. Anyway.
Mushrooms.
Well, they-
Yeah, mushroom power.
Right, didn't they?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But well, yeah. Look, I mean, the other question is: Did anybody think for a second that the fake alien wasn't a fake alien? Like, okay, let's say warp drive is gone, and all of a sudden you have this alien raiders that are right next to Earth that can get there and steal all your dilithium. I actually thought they were wearing a space helmet at first.
They still have. There still is impulse power, so it wouldn't take all that long to get to wherever they're going. Where was it, Titan or something?
Titan. That was
This
it.
is one of the reasons why...
Right. But again, how could a whole new alien race be stranded within commuting distance of Earth if there's no interstellar travel?
But they're not a new race. They are
Exactly. That's what made
And
it.
they went to war.
Keep up to speed.
And this is
please.
another problem. This is another problem with the story. You've got this other human race from Titan. They've had a catastrophe on Titan, and they go to Earth to seek help. Rather than working together and seeing each other as people that are of the same race that need help, they have this warfare that goes on for however long.
Which is
It's like, well, why did you communicate with each other in the first bloody place? It's so stupid.
Also, probably that is a plot line we've seen over and over again across several
I will tell you
shows
how
now.
stupid this is. You've got to be so stupid to believe that having legal immigration is a racist thing. That if you're that stupid, you would write this. And lo and behold,
I mean,
It's,
this is the reason why I've become unsure of the plot and unsure of the entire gambit and what they were trying to achieve. Because you know what you were just saying a moment ago, Mr. Brown, about dilithium and all those things. Because they seem to be chopping and changing. We're only an episode into this storyline, into this setup, and they're already changing. Really, giving us unclear signals. Well, yeah, change the goalposts, giving us unclear signals about why things happened.
Yeah.
Why they want to get things back to a similar state? Who's got the dilithium and what? If it's so unstable, why do they want to use it again at all?
Yeah,
I just think it's all very dumbed down for your target audience.
and it
not
has to be
an
really
audience.
dumbed down for them.
it's dumbed down by the.
It doesn't give me any pleasure saying that.
No, it
I mean,
doesn't give anybody any pleasure. It's,
No.
it's heartbreaking.
it's thumbed down for the people writing it because they're dumber people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really yeah.
So
I
I
hate to sound like we're
take
picking
that
on
back.
them.
Thank
I
you,
hate
Robert.
to sound like we're picking on them, but it
Thank you,
all
Robert.
has to come back to the writing. And
Yeah.
I keep thinking, is this really the best? Really, the best they can do?
Honestly, I don't think there's a problem in saying how stupid the writing is. They got paid good money and they put millions of dollars into making this and then putting it on television.
Most expensive TV program ever.
You're right. And
Is it really?
it's not like it's
Yeah.
hidden.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a
Yeah.
private project. This is a professional product, and it's
It's about $10 million per episode.
They can't still be on that budget. There's no. That
Well,
was the
not
first
now.
year.
Not now.
That
Not
was
now.
a Netflix year. This year they're on about 28p. This year it's like it's ridiculous. You can see
We're
how
on 25 cents.
yeah. You can say like it's standing sets or location photography. No new no props. Everything's virtual. Yeah, I honestly I don't know why they didn't make it 5 episodes long.
Well, this looks
Or not at all.
I
They're
thought-
massive incompetent morons. That's
Yeah,
why.
they should have just
I-
done 3 feature-length episodes.
I did think
Done.
that scene there, that picture there with Michael Burnham, I did think that looked quite cheap. She's clearly standing in
It
front
was
of
very CGI with the red coat in the background. Yes.
unaccustomedly with this show in particular.
Mm.
And even though Jonathan Frakes, I think I still rate Frakes as a director. I think he really brings
Good
things to
director.
life. But I noticed in a lot of the studio work, things were just a little more standard television, maybe, rather than something that was the most expensive TV show ever, as you've just said,
Yeah.
Ian. You know, it's
Most expensive waste of
You
time.
know what?
it could bring us if they did bring the production values down. Hope it could bring about a reinfusion of charm, couldn't it, Mr. Brown? Back
Yeah.
to the old days.
Listen, guys. As a seasoned viewer of Star Trek, as a bitter old man, all I want is some good Star Trek. Just tell me a good story, good characters. I don't want all this shit.
That's
Spend
why.
less money on
Why-
CGI and more on writing. Spend
I don't-
more on a decent set
Listen,
with writers.
But this is
Yeah.
why they stopped the fan films. They stopped the fan films because they didn't
Yeah.
want
Because
to.
they're
showing
producing
up.
better stuff. The
Yeah.
fan films are producing better stuff than
Well,
the
they were.
studio.
They cancelled them. They stopped them.
I'm
It's
tired of
just
going.
so depressing. It's just
We've had 3 seasons of Star Trek in this calendar year, and I'm tired of going from season to season and show to show too, sort of having to
just
sort
the
of
same.
bolster to muster up some hope, and for them to tap into my innate love of Star Trek as a thing and this universe
Yeah.
as a place, and kind of exploit it and pull it
Well
out
said.
into the light again, and then to leave me completely not just unsatisfied, but in some respects, with the end of Picard's
Bitter.
season 1. I just thought that was absolutely awful, way worse than Star Trek Discovery season 2. In fact, and it's
that's pretty
worse, and I think it's worse because it had more
Took a
potential. It had more potential to
Yeah.
be better, and the fact that they'd already built one show and screwed it up, building a second and screwing that up even
Be
quicker.
consistent.
That really takes and the
Be
notion.
consistent.
I mean, I was very keen on the idea of Strange New Worlds, mainly because I like Anson Mount so much. I
Yeah.
like Rebecca Romaine as
Great,
well.
great.
Ethan Pecky could do okay, I suppose, if they get
Yeah,
a
no problem with
decent makeup job and a haircut. I was okay about that. But the section, I mean, who do you really want to see a Section 31 show?
It's 'cause-
particularly one led by
Kurtzman
one-
loves it. Kurtzman loves the idea.
particularly one led by Michelle Yeoh,
Sorry.
who
She
in this
can't
episode-
act. She
in this
cannot act. I
episode-
don't understand all this veneration for her. She cannot
I mean,
act. Sorry.
I've always liked her in the past. I liked her in the Bond
She
movie. I
can't
liked her in
act.
the Hannibal thing. But in
can't.
this, and she was fine in the first couple of episodes of season 1. She was just fine. But in this, she's totally out of her depth with this character. She
That's
can't.
ludicrous.
She can't bring this character to life. She can't convince in this role, and it's exposed the fact that she's got a lot of charisma, but she's not a very good actress. How can they seriously hope to lead a show with Michelle Yeoh?
No. She was better as the original captain before she went into the,
In the background, playing a nice a nice character. I'm sure Michelle Yeoh is lovely as a person, and because she's probably a nice person, Georgiou was a nice person. It wasn't so much of a reach, but you get a nice person to try and snarl like this, and to try and be a little bit sexy and dangerous. It is a little embarrassing, yeah. And I don't want to see Michelle Yeoh. Like I say, I'm really fond of her. She reminds me, like I say, she reminds me of Tomorrow Never Dies. All that stuff. She was so great in that. So I don't want to see her sort of belittled like this and put in a situation where she's a little bit out of her depth in a character that's impossible to relate to anyway. Ridiculous character. I can't see Section 31 happening. The way things are going, guys, I don't see
season 3 of Discovery happening.
Yeah.
Could you?
I just think it's getting somehow it's getting worse. That's what I'm trying to say.
They find new. This is what they do. I mean, it's so much for finding brand new worlds and new civilizations. They're just finding brand new ways to destroy this once loved franchise. And for me, it's like that's their fucking final. What's the word? Brain fart. But yeah, I mean, for me,
it is a brain fart.
This is their sort of, their definitive action is to discover brand new ways to destroy Star Trek.
They have destroyed it because the final
frontier. That's what I was trying to
left ear, right ear.
Yeah.
This episode, I think this was the major soft reboot episode. This episode now has kind of gone into. Do you remember season 2, Buck Rogers?
Yeah, the search.
Yeah, we've gone into Buck Rogers. It's season 2. This now is season 2, Buck Rogers. I think we will have weekly episodes of weekly stories with maybe the searching for Starfleet as the underlying arc. I think this was a very subtle reboot.
I think you're being too kind to it. That's a preconceived idea that one might not have had they not received a horrible.
Well, I always try to see the positive.
I don't think
it's difficult.
We're at that level yet.
It's difficult, but
there's 10 episodes left. Obviously, we don't know what's coming. 10 of these left. I'd like to think, Mr. Brown, that you're onto something. I've been saying since before the season started that I was getting the waft of reboot about this, but they've taken 3 episodes now to set this up, I think reboots tend to happen faster though, and I'm very unclear. I'm just as unclear as I was before as to why I'm supposed to care. Yeah. And I think my time with this show, I'll continue watching it. I hope to be surprised. I hope to be delighted. I hope to be engaged. But I've had to come to the realization now that's an outsider. If I get that, it'll be a major, major bonus. I might get some pretty pictures in the meantime, and that's that.
This was 4 episodes of a major course correction. Obviously, you've got the last episode of season 2. 4 episodes now of a major course correction. So technically, again, I'm trying to see the positive. Yeah. Next week's episode is brand new Star Trek Discovery.
Well, do you think
doesn't mean it's going to be good?
We had a reboot. Season 2 was a reboot by bringing in Captain Pike.
I never felt that way about season 2. I think season 2, from episode 1 to the end, in some respects, was a production team in a major freefall, major chaos. They'd brought Pike in. Well, they hadn't, had they? At the end of season 1, they hadn't. They just had the Enterprise. I don't think when they recorded that they really knew where they were going to go with it. But by the time season 2 was getting close to being entering into production, the show, I mean, it was choppy water. Good God, they were losing showrunners left, right, and centre. They were losing writers left, right, and centre, and they seemed to be flying that entire season by the seat of their pants.
How many course corrections are they going to be given?
I felt that they were hanging on for dear. I think they were hanging on for dear life rather than being in a place where they could afford creatively, not financially, afford creatively the luxury of time to think, can we reboot this? I think that this is a reboot in many respects. I think you're right, Mr. Brown.
Well,
I just think it's just going to go weekly episodes.
And I would like to think that this means that the entire rest of the season is going to make up an arc. That at the end of week 13, we might not like it, but we may have been told a complete story that whatever the story it was they intended to tell episode 1, we get that at episode 13. That's not happened with this show before. Season 1 was absolute chaos. Season 1 was absolute chaos when they lost Brian Fuller. Season 2 was mayhem when they lost, his replacement, and his replacement, or her, or whatever it was. Now we've got all the creatives in place to take time and say, okay, we've got 13 episodes. This is the story we want to tell, like it or not. And, I'll probably end up not liking it. Let's, like I say,
let's be fair.
But I will respect it.
This is why it will fail. This is why it will fail, because, and this is a very simple thing to grasp, Star Trek fans are optimistic because they were raised on optimistic Star Trek.
Yeah.
This is not optimistic Star Trek. This is why it will fail, because it will lower, not only has it lowered your expectation, but you still have that optimistic belief that something good can come from this, and it's not going to deliver, because they are fundamentally at odds with the fandom.
It was.
I think you're completely right there. I think you're completely right.
Going back to the optimistic part, this episode, if we go back to the story, was slightly more Star Trek bringing two sides together and working everything out. What would happen back in the day, and that'd be like a weekly thing, and we'd just take it for granted that that's what everybody did. Whereas now, it's just we've had one episode where it's kind of touched on genuine Star Trek, and it was kind of missed because we're just talking about it's this, it's that, it's negative.
It was a last-minute thing at Shoot In at the end. Shoot in at the end. Oh, let's get these people to talk now. The last 5 minutes of the show.
It's a shame that something that we love, and something that I love, and something that somebody this afternoon on Facebook, took me to task for not kind of liking this stuff. But I said to him, if you like new Star Trek, good for you. I've not got a problem. And it's just like, can we just have good Star Trek, please? No agenda, no blah blah. Please.
No, the answer to that is no.
Please, I want to be entertained.
Mr. Brown, you cannot have nice things anymore. It is official.
It grinds you down.
Made for you. Get out the fandom.
For me, the story. For me, the story of the last 3 episodes could have been told quite easily in one 90-minute TV movie, which could have rebooted and relaunched the show.
Yeah, feature length.
Do it old style like that. As it turns out,
you're missing out the fundamental problem, which is just breathtaking incompetence, and that's really the problem. It's breathtaking incompetence, and that's why this is so bad, because it's run, like CBS is run by very incompetent people.
I think the luxury of indulgence as well, with it being effectively a platform series rather than a weekly series, means that they can tread water. And I think a lot of this episode was treading water. It became quite uninteresting. But yes, let's have some scores out of 10. Do you think this was better or worse than last week, Rabbi? What would you give this one out of 10?
I mean, this is getting hard.
It is.
Minus.
Oh, come on! Don't be silly.
Okay, minus 8,000,005. I'll do it. I'm sorry.
I love you, Rabbi.
Minus 8,000,005.
Mr. Brown.
Minus 8 million, but I just hate it that much more.
What would your score be, Mr. Brown?
I desperately want this program to be good.
Yes.
because there's a lot
That's
of
what
people.
they're playing on you for.
There is a lot of people. Serious point aside, there's a lot of people with everything's going on, suffering, and we just need something that's positive to take us away from all this shite.
Right. It's not this. It's not this. Don't watch this during lockdown. Okay, you're not coming out of it again. Forget it. Don't do it.
They're playing you. They're playing you. They're playing on your member berries to get you to keep watching and hoping they're playing on your optimism. That's what I keep telling you.
What kick do they get out of seeing
being right? That's what they think they are. They're being right.
Problem being, I have to ask you, because you bailed on Lower Decks. Why are you still watching Star Trek Discovery? Why are you
for punishments?
So I can participate in this chorus. You know, really, that we are not going to keep taking this anymore. And you know, if you want to ask me if this was better than the last two episodes, I've already said when I came in. I thought the first two episodes, apart from the glaring, stupid plot holes, were more entertaining. The second one, especially because it had less Michael Burnham in it. But this look. Kurtzman has already said categorically that Star Trek is not about the stories. It's about a platform for political group things, right? So that he said that. So on a creative level, zero, because I don't believe anything that these people are saying or doing, because I don't believe in the reason why they're there. And he's made that.
So probably you think you liked it 8 million times more than me.
And I must say, I mean, I
will give those millions of points to those millions of minus points to the people who are the innocents in all of this, who are doing their job by being the production people who are there trying to do the best that they can do under exceptional circumstances.
Fucking idiots,
I can't fault them on that. You know, they've got a job, and I don't want to deny anyone a job. I just want Kurtzman out. I want the writers out. I want them replaced by people who know what they're doing.
Sorry, Dan. I will give it.
If we did a job as incompetently as this, then we wouldn't last 3 years. Sorry, Mr. Branco.
I will give I'll give the program 4.
Okay.
Last time I gave it 5, but
I was on a 5 last time. I think I have to give this 3. I wasn't entertained at all by it, and I had been on some level in the previous 2. And I don't know if it's because it is week. I don't know. Don't analyze it too much. If you're not entertained, you're not entertained, are you? It is supposed to be an entertainment. Alex,
more than anything, I was bored.
Not a platform. It was boring. Yeah, they've turned us. You know, they've insisted that we get on board for this new premise, told us it's interesting and exciting. You go, oh, okay, but it's not. It's not. You can't leave it too much longer before people give up. You know, I'm kind of close to abandoning all hope for Star Trek on TV.
I don't think you should do another one of these, because it's just maybe do one at the end as like an overall season. But there's just so much negativity about in this world, and it just grinds you down. And I'm sick of it. You know, what little energy I have left, I want it for positive things, because there's just so much fucking negativity, especially with what's going on. It's just there's bigger fish to fry.
In a time when we need entertainment more than ever,
Agreed.
We're getting coshed over the head with this bullshit. And it serves nobody. It helps nobody, right? All it does is make a bunch of angry kids on Twitter feel validated. And I'm sorry, they're the last bloody people on earth who deserve any validation.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
They're nasty people, and these people are being pandered to left, right, and centre.
We're going to wrap the show up now. I think we've probably.
We can do. It really is like
I think we've all had enough. I'm going to make the plea again. this has been, it's quite right. This isn't pleasant, probably, to hear people tear things apart like this. But if you feel differently, I genuinely want to know. Get in touch, drop us a comment, and get in touch if you'd like to come on and tell us why you feel differently, what the show means to you, what we're missing, and where it could go from here. If you are excited about the prospects for this version of the 31st century and what could come in the future in Star Trek, future shows.
Really, if you like it, please come on. I mean, like, I don't think it's fair.
We're interested.
Really,
Dan, the guy who rounded on me on Facebook today, he's done it a few times. I will personally invite him to come on.
Please do. And like I say, this is an open house. We're interested. We are interested in Star Trek fans, Star Trek people, and this franchise. But we will likely in future shows be breaking this up with more talk about statues if we have to. Keep putting up more statues. We can smile about those.
There's got to be like fan fiction or something. There's got to be more good stuff out there that we can enjoy.
There's a new Axanar film dropping, isn't there?
There is?
This week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
It's taken him about 10 years to bring it out, but yeah.
Well, it's the edited down version, isn't it?
Yeah, a trailer for Axanar, 8 minutes coming this week.
I mean, just before we go, can they not just make like a Star Trek fan films like Axanar, instead of saying Federation, say Confederation? Like, that's all they need to do. Change the symbol and say
no, because it's still
they're going to do that with
25%.
They're going to do that with the new Renegades one. I understand.
Okay.
But when that comes out, I've no idea. But yes, this is the point now where we were at the same point with Lower Decks, where we talked about it and it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And so to make the show bearable, entertaining, and I'd like to think informative on some level for you sat there watching on whatever device you've chosen to tune in on, we start to mix it up with also all sorts of old Star Trek and sideward Star Trek. So we'll probably be doing some of that too. But I mean it genuinely. What the rabbi says is true. If you feel differently, come and chat to us. If you're a friend of Mr. Brown, if you've got into a scrap with Mr. Brown over on Facebook, come and talk to us about it here. And you'll be hearing more Star Trek talk, whatever, over the coming weeks. Problem being, thanks for dropping by. It's very good of you. And Rabbi, thanks again. Do you want to plug your channel? What's going on?
Channel this week. Go! Please go and subscribe. Go to biblicalcomics.com, but with an X. BIBLICALCOMIX. There's a link to my .com. There's a link to my YouTube channel, and there's tons of free comics there. There's tons and tons of free comics there. Help yourself.
And before we go, yes, I want to tell you about this in case you haven't seen it. Last week we had a lot of fun over on Type 40 Live, where our guests were Bob Baker and Paul Tams, the custodians of K9, the present custodians of K9, and we talked all things Tin Dog for a couple of hours. Lots of fun, lots of smiles, and there's more to come too. The live show's taking a break for a week. We've done a few of these, but it will be back in a slightly sort of evolved form because people do seem to like these shows. So we're going to step it up with those between now and Christmas. That's the plan. Keep watching for that. But there's more Doctor Who content on the Spacebook coming up this week. Also, that reminds me, I better talk about this Teleporter Blake 7 podcast. People said some really thank you. Probably people said some really sweet things about this last month. Of course, we are now in a few days' time. There's going to be episode 2 of Teleporter Blake 7 podcast is going to drop. And with this man, the guy who's hissing at the bottom, he's one of my guests on this second episode. And you'll have to wait to see who the second is. Keep a lookout for that. That's available as both a podcast and in video form here on the Spacebook channel. That does wrap us up for now. Everybody,
Dan, may I just say there is something very special on the horizon with Star Trek 5.
Oh, really? That's it. You
remember our little thing we've got on the back burner? Something positive. Something positive. We need it, mate.
It's going to happen. Yes, because a few months ago we had Star Trek 3 and Star Trek 4. We had some live streams,
which were great.
So we're gonna be doing Star Trek 5 at some point. But yes, lockdown and the beer bug has interfered with things a little bit.
And can I add as well?
that. Yes.
Can I add as well? I think next week on the TARDIS Zone, Noel's channel, on the TARDIS Zone, we're going to be doing some Star Trek movies. And start watching Star Trek movies from the first one, and we'll be doing them weekly from that point onwards.
Oh, good stuff. Yes, that's our friend. In fact, I've got I've got it somewhere.
Could I come on, please?
I've got
Yes,
his
why
banner.
not?
I've got his banner. You can, yes, Noel Glynn. He's not here at the moment, but he is the master of the TARDIS zone. Several TARDISes he keeps in that zone. I understand he keeps it under wraps. But yes, he's rolling it out. He's been talking Star Wars this last week or so. Sounds like he's going to be talking Star Trek there too. That's always a good time. Lots of watch-alongs, aren't they? And live chat, all sorts of things going on in the TARDIS zone there with Noel. We recommend that. And whilst I remember, I can't leave out our friend Keith Isles, Home Media Minefield. Keith will be back next time, I'm sure. But in the meantime, he's just put out a live stream about the Alfred Hitchcock movie Psycho. So that was lots of fun.
Oh, wow.
I watched the first half an hour, so I've got to go back to that. But his link will also be
Nothing about Twitter.
in the description. No. Although you'd be forgiven for thinking so. That wraps us up for another Warp Drive. Power down. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Please like the video.
Crystal's about to explode.
Just be nice to each other, guys. Be nice to each other.
Be nice. Be nice. And as E.T. would say, be good. Be good, be nice, and take care of yourselves if you're in the UK, especially.
Bye, guys.
Lockdown coming back again. Yeah, but we're here. Yeah, subscribe to the channel and just, go to the playlist.
Cheers,
see what you can find. But for now, that about covers it. Bye-bye.
Bye.